So in this physical realm that we live in, we are not the originators of inspiration. I need you to understand that. Inspiration comes out of the spiritual realm. What we do is we catch the inspiration in the spiritual realm, and then we go now do our best to create what we saw in the physical realm. So everything that exists was seen in a spiritual realm, and then now that person put that sweat equity into creating it here. So when you make a decision that impacts humanity as a whole, there is a voice that's coming from the spiritual realm that people are listening to, whatever they can call it, different names, it doesn't matter. The spiritual realm is split up in light and darkness. And anyone that truly understands the spiritual realm knows that it's light and darkness. What happens is that angels of darkness try to disguise themselves as angels of light. But the reason that they're disguising themselves is because there is no in-between. The in-between, we play that here on the physical realm. We play this whole in-between game. In the spiritual realm, it's very clear. Darkness, light. It's as simple as that. So now let me get into this conversation of Haiti, where people are so confused. Well, why is Haiti facing the consequences and not, quote unquote, these other nations? And this is where we need to talk about covenants, because you need to understand covenants better. So remember I said that we don't create things, or we're not the originators of inspiration here. We just recreate what we saw in the spiritual realm. And this brings us to government, okay? Government is a spiritual institution. Let's start there. So this is why it has the mightiest form of power. It doesn't matter where you go on this earth. If somebody establishes government, it will outpower the people there. Yes, there can be governments that are good, there could be governments that are bad, but it doesn't change the fact that the principal authority on earth is government. Okay, it is across countries, nations, etc. And the reason it's so important is because what the government is a declaration, okay? And it's the establishment of the authority that is in this region, that is in this area, etc. So when you have a mother and a father in a home, that is government. That is government at a family level, right? A familial level. At the higher level, politically, okay, that is now government establishing itself over an entire region, over an entire country, over an entire people. The point is that government is like the potter. It shapes and molds the people into the type of people that need to be, right, controlled, right, or led under this government, because control in the human form has a lot to do with it. Let's keep going. So the point is, when you make a covenant, you have now established a government. That is now the principal authority of that region, of that home. The same way as marriage. Let's say if I had two men, right? And one was my boyfriend and I married the other, okay? Who has principal authority is going to be the one that's my husband. It doesn't matter how much I say I love my boyfriend. It doesn't matter how much I try to represent my boyfriend, right? I try to, dress like him, be more like him. Who I have my covenant with is the principal authority. So really with anything else, I'm just playing around. You follow? All right. When Haiti, the country, when blood oaths and covenants were made, you have to ask yourself, who did they get in relationship or in covenant with? Because that is the principal authority and the principal power. So when you're comparing Haiti to other nations and say they do just as evil or just as bad as us, yes, you're not wrong, but you're missing who the covenant is with, because the covenant establishes a more principal power. Let me get into it. Follow me here. We're going to get there. So let's look at Haiti's neighboring country, for example, right? Dominican Republic. They do Santeria, whatever it's called. Like they have darkness there. It's a part of the culture, right? Okay. America, people go to psychics, mediums, all where you go. These things are all over the place, right? So you're like, how are we being punished when these people it looks like they're doing the same exact thing? The difference is, and this is where you can say that they operate in more wisdom than us. They are not in covenant with these things. They just do these things. It's no different from a lot of you guys that say, you're out here getting girlfriends and boyfriends left to right, but many of you guys won't get married because you understand within yourself that there's a higher principle and a higher authority when it comes to marriage. And you don't want to enter into that covenant. So you're doing a lot of the deeds and do's. You guys are getting houses together, buying homes together, building businesses together, having children together, having sex and doing all these different things. But you're not entering into covenant, right? So some of the consequences of being in a covenant, you don't have to deal with it. But the benefits of being in a covenant, you also don't get as well. Okay. Haiti is in a covenant. That's the difference. There's a covenant. So it's not like America, for example, where America might be, let's say, a disloyal spouse, right? Where, you say you believe in God, but clearly you're disloyal. You're out here doing this, you're out here doing that. Okay, that's different. No, Haiti's different. We actually married this thing. Haiti is not cheating. Like the other countries that you're looking at, that you're trying to name, they are cheating, right? They are cheating on God with darkness. Okay? Haiti went and married it. We married it as a people. So the only way for there to be a true shift and change is to divorce it. So I am not sitting here telling you that Haitian people need to be perfect. In fact, Haitian people might be operating at a higher level, let's say, in terms of principle, in terms of let's say ethics, in terms of how they treat people, etc. They might be operating at such a higher moral level, right? We'll go with that. In their homes and the way they treat people, right? Not the gangs don't represent us. Let's say the people. However, we are living under our covenant. We are living under our government. So if the authority the people have chained themselves to is darkness, it doesn't matter their intelligence. It doesn't matter their morals. It doesn't matter their intentions. None of that matters. They are living under their covenant. Just like if you got married, right? And you're a woman and you submit and you say you submit to a man. It doesn't matter if you're a 10 or, you're amazing, you're educated, you're etc. If you are saying you are submitting to him and he is the leader and he is a 2, you are going to be oppressed and you are going to be suppressed down to the level of that 2. Because if you now say that I am entering into covenant and you are my leader, right? I put my full confidence and trust in you. It doesn't matter how great you are. That person that you put yourself under covenant to, they have to have the capacity and the greatness to give you room for your greatness and your potential to flourish. So the Haitian people filled with potential, filled with power, filled with all of these different things, but the covenant that they're under is oppressing them. The covenant that they're under is, restricting them. And this is where people begin to say, well, this is what, on paper America did. This is what on paper France did. This is what on paper Canada did. Again, the inspiration comes from the spiritual realm and it manifests in the physical realm. So if there's a principal power that's ruling over you in the physical realm, it's because spiritually it has the authority to do it. And we give away our power when we don't understand these things and we enter into covenants where people shouldn't be ruling over us. But because we're in the wrong covenants, it gives them the power to do so. Okay? They are essentially God's own disciplinarians, like it or not. Okay. So then now let's look at wisdom. Okay? Because Haitian people, even if you say you're not going to change, you're not going to transform, you want to hold on to your religion, no problem, do that. You're going to suffer the consequence of it. But understand that nations are built by 2 things. Either you have knowledge or you have wisdom. Simple as that. Wisdom will always outbeat knowledge, but the majority of societies, the majority of nations operate on knowledge. Okay? And knowledge, right, it's oftentimes withheld. So you're not, which is why with slavery, they didn't allow slaves to read books, right? Because the power of that knowledge, when applied, it can put you on the same level as me or surpass me. But I want you to understand that the West now has acquired so much knowledge that look at how far behind a lot of nations are. Okay, so let me hurry up and wrap this up because I actually have to get ready for tonight, Freedom by Design. For those of you, the enrollment, I'm about to close this soon. So if you want to get the last minute enrollment, you can to do that. I'm actually going to be addressing generational curses today. This is a 12-week coaching program. And day one is going to be about, breaking that and things like that. Before we go into the coaching and everything that we need to do, but I always start off with getting rid of stuff because people come with so much history and you don't know what it is. So we got to break that first. Anyways, let me wrap up this conversation about wisdom and knowledge. And if you want me to go deeper in another video, let me know, okay? But I'm just going to leave this here. So the West and other areas, we have Asia, parts of Asia, et cetera, that are advancing. My whole point is that the Haitian people, nations are built on either knowledge or wisdom, right? The best nations have obviously a combination of both. The reason the president of El Salvador, Bukele, right? I think that's how you say his name, was able to turn things around in such a quick time frame, 3 years, is because he operated in wisdom. So that means the divine strategy that God gave him is one that would defy man's limitations or expectations, right? That's what happens when you operate in wisdom. The majority of the world operates in knowledge, okay? Hear me here. So now the oppression that the Haitian people are under, it's so dark that they don't have access to knowledge. They have access to it, but they are so far behind in terms of knowledge, right? I remember when the earthquake happened in 2010, one of the things that was most gut-wrenching for me, that there were people under rubble, not because they needed to be, they could hear them screaming, but they just didn't have the equipment to remove these people. You follow what I'm saying? So that's a knowledge issue, okay? Now, when you are so far behind and you have these threats around you, people who have, let's say, 400 years worth of knowledge ahead of you, you don't go try to now fight them by trying to catch up with their level of knowledge. The way you beat your enemy is with wisdom. The problem is that knowledge you can get from anybody, okay? Demons hand out knowledge. Wisdom itself comes from God. So the only way to transform Haiti and for Haiti to launch up front, right? Because I'm a believer that Haiti will rise, but Haiti will not rise without wisdom. And wisdom is one of the things you cannot get without God. So when he says, my people who are called by my name, if they will humble themselves and pray and seek my face, right? I will hear them and I will heal their land. He will give you the wisdom to do it. So wisdom is in the hands of God and he gives it freely. But we have to humble ourselves to receive it. So now if you don't want to receive wisdom, that means you have to go play the same game that the world is playing. You have to go acquire knowledge, which means that there has to be such a deep investment because you guys don't have to change your religion. You can be as ancestral, voodoo principled as you want to be. You can live that way, but you're also going to have to apply yourself to the ways of this world fully, which means you're going to have to compete with knowledge. Right? And then you're going to say, oh, what about weapons, etc.? Well, how did they make these weapons? They made them through knowledge, right? They received that knowledge. They created these things. They're constantly creating defenses, things to put them ahead of other countries. You're going to have to compete at that level. Now, that's not to say if you don't get wisdom that you're not going to have to go acquire knowledge in certain things. Yes. But what wisdom does is it gives you divine strategy. So you apply yourself to the place where you're going to get the maximum ROI. You follow? Haitian as a people are not operating in wisdom clearly, and you're not seeking after knowledge. So what's happening? Just living under a covenant. And this is why these gangs and darkness has a path to do what it does, because even knowledge is not present to stop them. That's a dark covenant. And this is why in closing, I talk about breaking demonic covenants and curses. It's not just about the covenant you need to get from under there. What it does is it robs you of the access that you could have to the wisdom of God, right? To transform your situation. Instead, you're living under the prosperity. This right here that you're looking at in Haiti, the covenant that Haiti is under, that's the version of prosperity. Like, this is your reward. So you're living under the reward of a certain kind of covenant. Look at this reward, okay? And then now you have to first divorce that thing, right? And get in right covenant, okay? And then now by getting in that right covenant, it stops the cycles of self-sabotage, right? Social sabotage, right? All the sabotaging behavior that's happening. And then now as a people, you can work more offensively towards your own good, right? But right now, the veil that's over Haiti, the lid that's over Haiti is one of demonic oppression. And whether you say that demonic oppression, the hands that's being used is America, it's Canada, it's Kenya, it's whoever you call it, doesn't matter. It's manifesting out of the spiritual. It's getting its authority in the spiritual and utilizing it in the physical through these characters. So I hope this helps, guys. I love y'all. Y'all have a great day. Bye.